been a ridiculous amount of panic and terror in the markets lately. And I'm here to tell you that one of the worst things you can do for your baggage right now is probably to panic. We will discuss why that is the case, how you can make a lot of money right now, and how to stand out from the crowd, which is being influenced by institutions on a scale that has never been seen before. I want to show you the evidence first, though. This is a multivariate sentiment analysis of the cryptocurrency market, as can be seen by looking at the Fear and Greed Index. At the moment, it is quite afraid. Extreme terror was present yesterday as well, but today is far worse. You can see that we're obviously heading downward. Last week, we were at 44. An increasing number of people are panic selling as a result of growing worry, which causes them to lose money because they are typically selling at a loss. However, we were in a greedy mood last month when the markets were doing absolutely amazing. I want to demonstrate to you what happens when you allow the institutions to control you and how you can truly quit doing this, take a break, and for the first time in your life, think rationally when investing. However, I would like to start by taking a few sage words from none other than ZZ. Do you know the man who founded the world's biggest exchange, Binance? Yes. Don't panic, he said. Bitcoin is here to stay. And the reason for his public admission is that this is, in fact, a really fascinating tale. You remember how ZZ Binance projected in 2017 that Bitcoin would eventually reach $105,000 per coin before plummeting to $85,000. And this would make headlines around the world. And today, in fact, this has happened. In essence, this is what has transpired during the past few days. After trading above $100,000, Bitcoin finally fell to around $80,000. Indeed, every single Bitcoin critic was publicly declaring that the cryptocurrency was doomed. Naturally, the foolish store is also listening to this. A great deal of fear. They believe that things will only become worse, which I find absolutely absurd, but this is the reason some establishments profit while the majority of retail loses money. 90% of cryptocurrency investors lose money, and there's a very excellent explanation for this, as you'll soon discover. But first, I want you all to know why there is fear and what these institutions are doing to trick you into believing that we are in a bad situation when, in fact, we are in a good one. The unemployment figures in the US are where I want to start. It does appear really frightening at first when we look at the statistics. As you can see, unemployment in the United States has been skyrocketing in 2025, but there is a specific cause for this. Examine the actions of the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOJ. Take a look at Donald Trump's actions. At the moment, huge layoffs are being implemented for federal positions. Since they are squandering public funds, tens of thousands of federal employees squandering the national debt and harming the economy, provide no net value. Therefore, it makes sense to fire these employees in order to relieve the taxpayer and use the funds more wisely. As we can see, the number of Bloomberg News stories about layoffs, firings, and job cuts increased to 15651 last week, the biggest in at least a year. In the past 3 weeks, there have been twice as many tales. Doge has already let go of tens of thousands of federal employees this year. Capital Economics estimates that up to 200,000 federal employees have probably been laid off. Additionally, the number of initial jobless claims in Washington, D.C. has doubled this year to 1,626, surpassing 2008 levels and the highest since March 2023. Layoffs in the U.S. government have begun, which is why there are many unemployed people that we did not see last year. And as I mentioned earlier, this is a positive thing. More efficient use of resources will benefit the economy in the long run. Indeed, the measures may appear quite pessimistic in the near future. However, the reality is that since we won't be wasting as many resources, there will be more jobs returning to the United States, and the economy will grow over time. The United States government will finally be operating like a well-oiled machine. For the first time in a long time, that's what we require. We require a government that functions like a well-run company. Additionally, these savings will be extraordinary, don't you think? Through the cancellation of more than 250 vacant or underutilized leases totaling more than 3 million square feet, the federal government saved more than $100 million in rent annually today alone. That's ridiculous. Due to underutilization, all of this property will suddenly be vacant. Buildings that can house thousands of people but only have 10 staff can now be rented out for other uses, and the U.S. government may be able to make money from that, and the U.S. government is in dire need of this at the moment. Therefore, contrary to what these institutions may want you to think, things are actually looking excellent. They may urge you to sell in a panic. They could influence the markets. To make you lose faith in the markets, they may publish even uplifting news and then sell right away. Their goal is to crush your soul. They want your cryptocurrency assets sold. And when you believe that we've reached the lowest point, they will all reinvest in it and things will skyrocket once more, leaving you to question why you ever sold in the first place. Many of you will then immediately panic buy back in, but regrettably, that is the only game they play that people fall for and lose a lot of money at. As you can see, I'm currently making purchases. Here on the chart, these are buys, and there's a very good explanation for that. In fact, at lower prices. I have 3 more open trigger orders, indeed. I believe that many of your lives will be changed by this, which is why I want to talk about it. I actually discussed this on live, as you can see right here, but I want to share some amazing information with you all first. When we witnessed numerous of these enormous 50-minute dumps on February 24th, BlackRock was actually liquidating a sizable portion of their cryptocurrency holdings, and this was demonstrated by on-chain data and studies. In my second to last live stream, I discussed this. You can have a look at it. And on February 25th, they repeated the action. Whether or not institutions are already instigating collapses and selling their cryptocurrency is not even up for debate. There is actual on-chain proof that they moved substantial quantities of cryptocurrency to Coinbase, and that as soon as they sold their positions, the market dumped them, all right? This is no longer even a question. This is a fact. These individuals have made the decision to attempt and panic sell you out of the market. Here's the thing, though. It is entirely lawful for them to continue doing this. Therefore, we are unable to prevent them from selling their cryptocurrency holdings. They have the same rights as you or me. You must play the game they are playing, though. BlackRock, Grayscale, Fidelity, Robinhood, all these big firms that collectively hold trillions of dollars, There appears to be a rather obvious choice if they are earning trillions of dollars annually in this way. You have the option of playing the game they are playing or the one they want you to play in order to increase their earnings, correct? For this reason, I utilize my platform for its intended purpose. I want to ensure that none of you is destroyed. Furthermore, the game is actually very simpler than you may think. In fact, I have this set as my computer's wallpaper, so I may be reminded of it every day.